final presentation for Environmental and Occupational Health at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. Disclaimer, this is a student presentation using a hypothetical scenario for educational purposes. The presenter is a student at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, not a representative of the agency named in the following slides. The information contained herein does not necessarily reflect the views of said agency. Good evening, Junior League of Arkansas, right here in Little Rock. My name is Janae Brown. I'm an environmental health specialist with the Arkansas Department of Health. And today we're going to have a brief presentation on formaldehyde, the daily hazards in your home. So this is a brief rundown on what this presentation will go over. This presentation will go over the following in regards to formaldehyde. We will go over the background of formaldehyde. This will include the chemical makeup, the different forms that formaldehyde can take, the exposure routes that formaldehyde are more prominent in, benefits, and the side effects of the exposures. We will also talk about common household exposures. This will go over things about cleaning products, body care, and combustible sources that you may run into in a daily lifestyle. And also we will speak about how to limit your exposure. This would include government recommendations and government laws that are in place to regulate formaldehyde. So what is formaldehyde? Well, when many people hear it, they think about embalming fluid or funeral homes. Well, formaldehyde is a colorless, flammable gas that produces a strong odor. You will know it when you smell it. In most cases, formaldehyde is used as the liquid solution known as formalin. The chemical formula is CH2O, which means it has 1 carbon, 2 hydrogens, and 1 oxygen. It can be found in many forms and can be created in alternative forms by byproducts of other chemicals mixed together. Formaldehyde can be found naturally through the process of combustion or heating in household products and in agricultural products that many use on a daily. There are 3 routes of possible exposure when it comes to formaldehyde. You have inhalation, or breathing in, which is the primary or main route of exposure. When individuals come in contact with formaldehyde, it's normally in the form of gas being released from some source that contains it. Ingestion or swallowing is the second most common route of exposure. Sometimes food or water can be contaminated with alternate forms of formaldehyde due to improper disposal or usage of the chemical in general. Children tend to receive more exposure via ingestion due to mouthing behaviors. Children, especially toddlers, constantly do what? Touch everything in their environment and place their little hands in their mouth without washing them. The last route of exposure is less common unless you're directly working with large quantities of formaldehyde, and that's dermal or skin contact. Through absorption of the skin, small amounts can be entered into the body. However, it's very uncommon. So let's talk about the benefits of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a chemical found naturally in many living things and has various uses. For example, resins and glues based in formaldehyde are used in wood products for construction, building, flooring, and wall sheets. Within the healthcare field, it is used for inactivation of viruses and vaccines, various equipments, and to create hard gel capsules within medicines in the medical field. The combination of ingredients are used in cosmetics, soaps, and other personal care products that are released different forms of formaldehyde, and even some hair services such as keratin treatments release formaldehyde. Paints and resins based in formaldehyde also are used to increase efficiency in automobiles and are used in parts inside the motor. And last, formaldehyde is used to recycle wood waste products, such as wood chips and sawdust. It is used to combine these products to create cabinets and countertops that we are using in various homes. So formaldehyde can cause health effects? Yes, it can. There are 2 kinds of health effects produced by the exposure to formaldehyde, which can be immediate acute effects or prolonged chronic effects. Immediate short-term effects include burning of the eyes and throat, headaches, lung irritation, and possible rashes to appear. Prolonged chronic effects include possibly developing cancer, specifically myeloid leukemia, asthma, stomach lining damage, kidney and liver damage, and gastrointestinal ulcers. These ulcers are going to appear from the stomach down into the intestines and can be seen by a GI doctor. Symptoms seem to be more severe, especially related to breathing for children. This includes severe chest pain, shortness of breath. If exposed to formaldehyde, it's best to remove the individual from the source and, if needed, bring them to the hospital. It is important to decontaminate the individual by flushing their skin or body with fluid and administering oxygen to help with breathing. And yes, formaldehyde is probably in your home. Just like it occurs naturally, it does occur in the home as well. However, in homes, the risk of exposure is higher than it is outdoors. This can be due to many factors like lifestyle choices. These are things like tobacco smoke. It can increase the levels of formaldehyde in your home since it releases the gas while burning or inhaling the smoke. With gas stoves or fireplaces, burning gas or wood results in formaldehyde being released into the air. Furniture made of wood or resins with formaldehyde can release gas into the air, especially if the home temperature is warm. Some routine tasks such as cooking, washing clothes, using keratin hair products, or simply straightening your hair can release formaldehyde that is composed inside the products that you are using. The product may contain formaldehyde in alternate forms like formalin, methylaldehyde, and formic aldehyde, just to name a few. So let's look at exposure statistics to see where you may stand when it comes to formaldehyde exposure. In 1972, a 2-year study was conducted and found that 1.6 million workers in the United States was exposed to formaldehyde on the job. Of these workers, 57,000 was exposed to more than 4 hours. This is over the time limit set by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Of these same workers, 1/3 were healthcare or personal care workers. These are your doctors, nurses, LPNs, caretakers, radiologists, and even hair care stylists, just to name a few. A more recent study conducted by Alberto Sarcelli et al. In 2017 had similar findings in which healthcare workers remained at the top for exposure. And get this, currently the average American home is exposed to between 0.02 to 4 parts per million of formaldehyde, while the average urban area outdoor level remains smaller at 0.001 to 0.02 parts per million. Currently on the market, there are 71 known agents that commonly are used in home products that contains formaldehyde or some form of it. Also, newer homes are at a higher risk for exposure due to being well insulated. You would think that would be a good thing, but this decreases the airflow within a home containing any released formaldehyde gas. So, what has the government done about it? Well, according to the Agency for Toxic Studies and Disease Registry, the Occupational Safety and Healthcare Administration has set limits. Daily exposure limit in the occupational setting is 0.75 parts per million for formaldehyde. Short-term exposure limit is 2 parts per million at only 15 minutes. And something that can cause immediate dangerous health effects is 20 parts per million. The Center for Disease Control reports that there was a ban in 1982 on UFFI or urformaldehyde foam insulation and a decrease of formaldehyde-based products in wood. And this helped decrease the exposure rates of formaldehyde by removing some of the possible exposures from the home. Insulation was commonly used in between wood boards and in the roofs of homes. As recent as this year, the Environmental Protection Agency has released a new mandated compliance. Wood products and goods must be TSCA Title 6 compliant, in which it means that the certain products are monitored to decrease the emissions of formaldehyde. These products, whether they are domestic or international, must be in compliance, verified, and labeled. Below is a link that you can follow to see more about this information. So now that you know some of the facts on formaldehyde, you're probably wondering, well, how do I lower my risk? What do I do to change? Unfortunately, you cannot 100% eliminate your risk to formaldehyde exposure, but there are some simple tasks that you can do to lower your indoor exposure. This includes lifestyle changes. This could be decreasing smoking in your home or producing a smoke-free home. People that smoke cigarettes or tobacco products put themselves at the highest risk for formaldehyde exposure. Ventilation is another task you can do. It is key when using formaldehyde-containing products or purchasing furniture with formaldehyde in it. The best way to dilute the air is by opening windows and circulating the air with ceiling fans. This is extremely significant in newer homes because of the high amount of insulation that is done. There is little to no airflow throughout the house, therefore entrapping any formaldehyde gas that's released. Other ways to reduce your risk is to wash new items. Let them air out before you bring them in to release any formaldehyde gas. Buy non-volatile organic chemical products. Ask about your wood of the furniture that you're buying before you buy it. Make sure it does not contain any formaldehyde. To keep any possible formaldehyde items in your home from releasing gas, make sure that you keep the temperature down and humidity down. It is important to clean chimneys and wood appliances to remove residues with formaldehyde in it. Lastly, wear protective gear such as gloves and respiratory masks when using products that have been reviewed to have formaldehyde in it. In summary, remember that formaldehyde is naturally occurring and we breathe it in daily in our outside environments. There are laws and regulations in place to limit our public exposure. However, indoor exposures increase due to your own risk factors. To lower this exposure, make changes inside your home. These include quitting smoking, switching to non-formaldehyde-based products, maybe burning your fireplace less. You can also look into your occupation. Healthcare workers and construction workers are often exposed to the most formaldehyde. Last, you can visit the Environmental Protection Agency website and become more familiar with the new TSCA Title VI compliance regulation and verify if any wood products that you're purchasing follow this regulation. I thank you so much for your time, and if you have any questions or concern, you can feel free to contact me at any time, your local environmental health specialist, Janae Brown. My number is provided, and you can email me at janae.brown@arkansas.gov. I thank you again, Junior League of Little Rock, Arkansas, and I hope that you have me back soon. And these are some of my references if you wish to check them out. Thank you.